Sarvopanishad Gavo Dogda Gopalanandana Parthavatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdam Gitamritam Mahat. All the Upanishads are likened to a cow. The cowherd boy is Krishna. The calf is Arjuna. People of purified intellect are the drinkers of the milk, and the milk is the supreme nectar known as the Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 7, verse 29 and the 30th. We have come to the end of this chapter. We have subtitled it, The Fivefold Supreme Knowledge. But it can be more than 5, it can be 6. But we look at the supreme knowledge as reflecting 5 dimensions. So the 29th verse is, those who strive by resorting to me for becoming free from old age and death, they know that Brahman, everything about the individual soul, individual self, and all karmas, all actions. It takes a little kind of explanation. We'll start unpacking it slowly. We're talking about the Lord speaking about, in this verse, 3 aspects. Brahman, that. In the word, thou art that. Then the second category he speaks about is the individual self, adhyatma. The word uses adhyatma. In the context of the body, the reality in context of the body becomes thou. Thou art that. And karma. So the words used is te brahma tad vidhu. Vidhu is to know. They know that Brahman. Tat, that Brahman. And how do they know it? In a very fragmented way? No, Krishnam, complete, whole. And then also Adhyatmam. They know everything connected with this, the word thou. In the great sayings, there is a thou art that. They know everything about that and thou. And also karma in its comprehensive sense. Who knows this? They who are striving to be rid of old age and death. Okay. How? By taking refuge in the Lord. You know, Buddha, he saw a sick person, an old person, and a dead person, and he wanted to find the solutions to these problems. Is that a problem? He should have read the Bhagavad-Gita. Which was, of course, it's earlier than Buddhism also. So here the Lord says, those who strive by taking refuge in me, the Lord, for becoming free from old age and death. So here it is. Now, old age and death, it implies birth, growth, decay, and all the changes that happen in the body. When you are embodied, you are constantly changing. Birth is one change. Death is another change. It's nothing big thing. Birth, he's born, happy birthday. Happy? What's happy? What's the thing to be happy about? The guy has been doing that ever since the beginning of time. Nothing happy about being born. And again, misery. And the guy thinks, oh no, there's no happiness in this transformations change, because it's going to lead me to disease, decay, and death. And like the Buddha, something has to be done. Yeah, then suddenly guy wakes up, why? Something has to be done. So here the Lord says, those who strive to overcome embodiment. That's the idea. What is embodiment? Embodiment is limitations. There's certain things about you that feel you could break free and go, and all the chains and all the shackles that society has put and culture has put and civilization has put and the human body is heir to. Need to break everything and go and become free. When this happens, what do? You take refuge in that higher aspect of reality. This is what is saying. Those who strive, and I mean not, okay, yeah, one day I'm going to get free from old age and death and etc., etc. Who wants to go to this assisted living facility with all these tubes all over the place? Miserable life. Okay. So, yeah, no, I'm going to strive before I go to that facility. So the idea is, I take refuge in the higher self. So that's why he's saying, by resorting to me. When the Lord says, by resorting to me, by surrendering to me, by taking hold of me, ashritya, you go and hold on to something, hold on to. This is called the word ashritya, hold on. Say what? Say, yeah. So the Lord is not saying, me, come to me. Come to me. No, he's identified himself while speaking of himself as me and I, as the Supreme Atman. So those guys who strive, yatanti, the commentator corrects the grammar saying yatante, okay, but doesn't matter. So those who strive by taking refuge in me for becoming free from old age and death, etc., 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 etc. Okay. What do they acquire? What do they attain? They know that Brahman. So tad vidu Brahma. And the everything about the individual self. This individual self? Yes. That same Brahman, in the context of the body, the same reality in the context of the body is called the individual self. Okay. Now, there is a lot of now there's a catch-all phases all over. God realization, realized soul, awakening of the Kundalini, and Nirvikalpa Samadhi. These things are actually distorting the whole doctrine of Vedanta. They may have market value when you say, oh, that guy, He's got his Kundalini awakened. Really? Yeah. Oh. I'm going to awaken the Kundalini. Oh. And that guy is a realized soul. What do you mean by soul and what do you mean by realization? What has he realized? Oh, no, I don't know. Yeah. So the certain things are like just thrown around and being, I don't know what kind of semantics was that. Some well-meaning person must have started this thing, and it's been on and on and on. So to just kind of break through those kind of old crystallized semantics within us, the Lord is speaking of that supreme knowledge as fivefold. So here we come to two aspects of that fivefold knowledge. They know that Brahman, that reality, that. And in the context of the body, it is called Adhyatma, Adi-Atma. That which is internal. We are not talking about the soul at all. So you won't get the soul is called Jiva. And Jiva means your life breath, your mind, your body, and everything is considered everything. But this soul, a very pure soul, very holy soul, very good. And big hole in the soul. So then they know that reality. That's a fruit of striving. What do you get? Yeah, this is the first aspect. Second aspect is you come to understand what is karma. People have not a faintest idea. Okay, there's an action and a reaction. No, that's a starting point. Just a starting point. Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. As you sow, so shall you reap. Yes, that's true. Everything runs on karma. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, your life, everything runs on karma. Everything. So it has a cosmic aspect, it has a kind of a universal aspect, it has an individual aspect, it has that aspect which is dynamic, is playing out in the society. It has the daily actions of yours, the occasional actions of yours, that which you use to counter certain things, that also is karma, karma, karma. Of course, the implication, the tremendous, you know the foundation of the universe when you know karma. Oh, that's karma. Yeah, what is karma? Yeah, Swami Vivekananda, kri. It comes from the root word kri, to do, to perform, to act. So every breath of yours is karma, every thought is karma, every action, every word is karma. So we are doing karma all the time. All the time. Okay. And like, you throw something out and come back to you. Has to come back to you. You simply cannot escape this thing. People think, yeah, I did that thing on the quiet. Nobody knows. Well, no, you know. You know exactly what you have done, and this is what I've done, and this is what I'm getting. Don't want to acknowledge. No, you blame God. God, what is God doing? God is not involved. And people say, I'm praying to God, I'm praying to God. God does not appear. God has run away because you're all blaming him for everything. Poor God. Where's God? Where's God? Where's God? Yeah, why? They're going to blame me for everything. Might as well hide here for some time. You are responsible for everything about you, around you, and everything. So what's happening in this world? It's because of all of us. No, I'm so insignificant. No, you're not insignificant. You are significant because you are an agent, an experiencer of karma. It's a very powerful, you can say, instrument that you have. And the implications are cosmic. Yes. So this person knows everything about karma. Okay, so you have the second dimension, the second aspect of the two. We have 5. We have 3 more to go. Okay. So here he says that these people, those who strive, they want to put an end to all this nonsense that's going on. Because as long as you are playing with those mud pies, you will not get the real pie. So better stop playing with the mud pies and come for the real thing. And so he has used the word 2 times with a more or less same, Akhilam and Krishnam. It means the same. Akhilam, complete, whole, totality. And Krishnam's complete, whole. So their knowledge is complete. It's not partial, it's not fragmentary. That's why it's called Supreme. Okay. So when you say Supreme Self, it's a complete self, not a fragmented. Am I the Supreme Self? No, you cannot be the Supreme Self. You are that fragmented self right now. Okay. So this is the 29th verse. Generally, both these verses are taken together. So we'll take the next verse. And then he keeps on. Those who know me as existing in the physical and in the divine planes, along with my existence in all the sacrifices, they of concentrated minds know me even at the time of death. It does not mean only you'll know it only at the time of death. No. Even at the time of death means that when you can say the life forces are leaving you, they are kind of trying to uproot that tree very forcefully. If you're not ready, you'll be uprooted. So there's a kind of a confusion. Memories and all these memories are coming out. So it only to show that even at the time of death, for this person, his mind is stable. Nothing is going to dissipate his knowledge. It means that the guy has got knowledge before he can even pass away. So it's just in the context of, as they say, trying to embellish the idea that your knowledge is stable when you are still alive. So even death, which is, as they say, the great grim reaper, will come and bring you down. Oh, death, where is thy sting? Sting? It's kind of a bee. So you don't have to get worried about. So your knowledge is complete. So the other 3 aspects are, the Lord says, those who know me as existing in the 3 planes. What are the 3 planes? Well, we have seen one, Adhyatma, that is inside. There is something called the external world, Adibhuta. Everything connected, because you cannot live in a bubble. I don't care for the world. I don't care where it goes, to the dogs or to the cats or to the rats. No, you've got to care for the world, where it goes. Okay. Why? Because your existence is based on this existence of the external world. You breathe. Well, if that tree is not breathing itself, half your lungs are outside, another half is here inside. So the food that you eat, I've got nothing to do with the food. No, that has come from the external world, that has become part of you. So the external world and you are in a way synchronized. You cannot get away from it. And because we try to disassociate ourselves from the external world, we suffer. Okay? We exploit it, we desiccate it, we destroy it, we do everything. So that's that, you can say, so selfish outlook of a person that cannot see anything existing outside the skin. This is me. Whatever is there inside the skin is me. Outside the skin, I don't care. So this idea of the self and the non-self is there in the brain. This is me. That's a non-self. No, that is the self. That is an aspect of the self, yourself. So that's why it's called Adhyatma, that which is inside, Adibhutam, outside. So that's why it's called Sadibhutam, Sadibhuta Didaivam Mam. And that which connects the two together and that which is transcendent is the Adidaivam, the divine. Where is that thing, the divine? Must be in that seventh heaven. I know for sure. Yeah, that's another word, catch-all word, seventh heaven. There's something like, so no, it's here, Adidaivam, it's here. It's like a wheel within a wheel within a wheel, existence within existence within existence. This world, which appears material, has within itself the divine. Okay. And that divine is, as it were, kind of diffracted into something called the internal and external. That is an illusion, of course. Once you understand the Lord as existing in these three planes. What are these three planes? As I said, the divine, this external, and the internal. Not only your internal, every internal. Yeah, otherwise this is my internal. No, all internal. The Lord is existing in all beings. Human beings, don't be so kind of egotistical, as if you have done a great thing by becoming a human. In fact, we are worse than at times animals also. They are much more intelligent and much more kind of dutiful and much more responsible, So, yeah. I think humans are they're killing each other and destroying each other. So, in every living being, every living being. Otherwise, God is kind of separate and you are separate for human beings. No. That God is no God at all. If it's a God, human God meant for human beings. So here the idea is, this is the three other aspects of that five. So we have seen the first two. What is that? Tad, that. Okay. And then we had karma. And then we had the divine plane, that which is out here and which is in here. Adibhutam, Adidaivam, Adhyat. That's why we say Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So those things which trouble us are kind of arrested when we say these three things. Shanti, Shanti. Peace, 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 peace. Everywhere peace. So here also peace. Outside also peace. Everywhere peace. So the Sanskrit is Sadi Bhuta Didaivam Mam Sadi Yajnam Chaye Viduhu Prayana Kale Pichatmam Te Vidur Yukta Chetasaha. That's a fantastic. So So where will you find this now, this divine, this being here, this being there and here? You've got to get this thing out. Where is this? So the Lord is saying very clearly, you will know me as the being that is the Lord of the sacrifice. What sacrifice? All sacrifices. All life is a sacrifice. Not only that all life is a sacrifice, the Creator, when He created this world, He began creation with a sacrifice. Oh yeah, that's the long hymn called the Purusha Suktam in the Rig Veda. And we also have other hymns speaking about this great sacrifice that is being constantly going on and on. Even the gods pour their oblations into this, and there emerges the embodied realities. Okay, so, yeah, sacrifice. I love you, I love you, I love you. You should be saying, yeah, I sacrifice for you, I sacrifice for you, I sacrifice for you. People have got the whole thing wrong. Love, 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 love. If love cannot exist without sacrifice, it's impossible. So you've got to sacrifice many things. If you don't sacrifice, there is no love. There is no growth if you don't sacrifice. If you don't give, there is no sacrifice. You take something which is here and offer it to the Lord. Offer it to the world. Yeah. The more you offer things as a sacrifice, the more you start growing. And humanity from the earliest times have understood this idea of sacrifice. Every religion, I'm not talking about religion in the sense of organized religions. They are a small part of the whole religious landscape. For millions and millions of years, people have had religion. And what was the basic idea for religion? Sacrifice. The guy a couple of million years ago did not understand anything much. He took a fruit and he saw kind of a nice looking tree or nice looking stone and he placed it there. Okay. Or maybe he worshipped that tree or he worshipped that stone and saw, oh my God. Because for those early people, this whole world outside had a kind of a magical property. It had life. So everything, stone, mountain, rivers, trees, people, and amongst people there are special people called shamans. So we went through this fetishism, okay, and then from there we graduated slowly. So idea was, you could see if I could offer something which I have, I get something in return, always. Either the gods are pleased or the other human beings are pleased. So this whole life is based on sacrifice. Like, okay, a mother sacrifices so much for the child. Yeah. If that mother was not sacrificing anything for the child, no. So there is growth in sacrifice. So who is the Lord of all these sacrifices? He's saying, I am the Lord of all sacrifices. And in the next chapter, it says, Adiyagnu ahamevatra dehe deha britam varaha. I am here as the Lord of all sacrifices. I am the enjoyer, the experience of all sacrifices, here in every body. Dehe, in the body. In every body, there is that Lord who is the Lord of sacrifices. What is it telling us? It's telling us, you also start sacrificing. Yeah, I sacrifice my all. You have to be a complete sacrifice. You've got to be completely kind of honest with yourself. Then You are a sacrifice. Every person is born, Swami Vivekananda, as a sacrifice to Mother Kali. You know what Mother Kali does? She takes your neck and then she ties that neck and makes it a garland round. And she dances. And she has a girdle of hands. It means karma, all what you are doing, all that. Yeah. So be a sacrifice to the mother. Be a willing sacrifice. So this whole concept of spirituality is nothing but sacrifice. If you get this idea, you're religious. Not just singing and chanting and, oh Lord, and weeping. Oh Lord, how beautiful your eyes are. How straight your nose is. How curly your locks are. You look so beautiful, oh Lord. And you are so gracious. That Swami Vivekananda slammed everybody. Yeah. And not only that, he slammed everybody in the very temple. Saying, even if you paint yourself like a leopard and roll yourself on the ground, you will not be religious. So he gives an example of two gardeners. One gardener, whenever you see the master of the garden coming, oh Lord, you've got such a nice, beautiful nose. Your eyes are like lotus, like and leaves, beautiful. And your smile, And another gardener, what the gardener do? Quietly keeps on working, gets the best fruits and offers it to the Lord. Whom will that master be pleased? So Shiva, this is his whole garden. This world is Shiva's garden. And the master of the garden is Shiva. And we are all like that. You think Shiva is going to be happy about his nose? The guy is praising my nose. And that whole lecture, his real worship is kind of, carved in that temple out there. You've seen that? Yeah. So, real sacrifice is real spirituality, is real religion. Simply sitting down, oh, my back is aching, and I'm hungry, and I'm doing my japa. What kind of japa is this? Half the time you are not even doing japa, that is, you're not even concentrating on. So Swamiji said, go and do something useful, instead of sitting down there and doing the useless things. Yeah. You've got to understand your state of mind and take it up as a kind of a sacrifice. That every repetition of the Lord is a kind of a sacrifice, an oblation, pouring in the fire of the Lord. In the old days we had this fire. All of us in the old days, we all fire worshippers. Guys knew. They lit these fires, and to keep themselves warm for the light. And if there's a kind of animal behind, you cannot see if the animal is behind. The other guy sees for you. Yeah, otherwise they say, hey, you're sitting around a fire, and then suppose the animal comes from behind. Well, there's another guy with the eyes to see that the animal or no. So we have this idea. So we used to sit down in front of the fire and tell all tall tales. My grandfather, he had the longest nose in the world. Another guy, my great-grandfather had even a longer nose. Pinocchio is nothing compared to it. He had this. And those tall tales became mythology. And those guys sitting down, see those guys, the lights out there? Maybe those guys are sitting around their own fires like we are. Yeah, but they are on top. There must be something superior. There must be those gods there. Yeah. So this fire and that fire is connected. Yes. So they bought out the connections with this external world, the fire, and also the divine world. So their worldview was comprehensive, not like us, fragmented. So, and what did you do in the fire? You warmed everything off. Then you took sometimes something and you threw in the fire, like some piece of wood. That became later an oblation. So pouring oblations in the fire, like we have this Agnihotra, the fire sacrifice. Where did it come from? It's from there. It has evolved through millions and millions and millions of years. And all ancient religions were all these fire worshippers. Yeah, there has to be some connection. Yeah, there is a connection. So they brought out this connection with the whole world through the symbology of fire. So this fire became the yajna, the sacrifices. And in the Vedic age, these guys from morning and afternoon and evenings, pouring oblations into the fire. This fire became a symbol. A symbol of what? Of the Lord, of the universe, of all karma, of everything. This is called the yajna. I am the Lord of the sacrifice here in the body. This is a tremendous concept. So they say, those who know me, the Lord, as existing in the physical and divine planes, and along with my existence in the sacrifices, they of concentrated minds, and that is important. Suppose you are thinking of something else while pouring that oblation in the fire, that won't do. I'm doing my japa. Closing my eyes and doing japa, that's not going to do. Your japa will have to be like a kind of an oblation into the fire. There it is. Here it is, the Lord. The best which I could now garner for you. You give the best things to the Lord. Not those worm-eaten fruits or leaves or flowers. Oh, this is not meant for me. I take this. Oh, Lord, this is for you. No, you give the best things. So repeat the name of the Lord the best way you can and offer it to the Lord as a sacrifice. In search of wealth, thou art the only wealth I have found. I sacrifice myself unto thee. In search of love, thou art the only beloved I have found. I sacrifice myself unto thee. Nothing for me, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, I do not care. I sacrifice myself unto thee. This is Swami Vivekananda's words. Here, sacrifice. Keep on giving. You will grow, and you will grow. And as you grow, you will grow and grow and grow and grow. You will find, my God, this reality which I'm growing into is that supreme being. This is that fivefold knowledge. That reality as manifesting in this plane, this world outside, which is dynamic karma, the divine planes. And this is how knowledge becomes comprehensive. This person, this realized soul, what does a person do? Realized soul, he keeps on advertising. I'm a realized soul. I'm a realized soul. And there are actually, the guys are, they have learnt advertising, They will tell their inner circle guys, go and tell everybody I'm a realized soul. They won't tell them themselves. Their disciples will go on. Realized soul. My guru is a realized soul. My great guru is a realized soul. That guy is a realized soul. What does a realized soul do? Well, that realized soul has to have these fivefold aspects of that knowledge, supreme knowledge. Then you can consider, oh yeah, it's a realized soul. Then he will find that realized soul has got no meaning at all. There is no soul except that reality. And if you say realized soul, then you are not realized soul. Yeah. Realize. What do you realize? Yeah. You realize these fivefold supreme knowledge, the reality that is expressing itself as this universe. This is the Saguna aspect of Brahman, the manifested Brahman. The Brahman that you see here. Where will you go to seek that God? Seek it in sacrifice. And where is that guy? Here inside. There he said, Krishnam Adhyatmam. And karma, everything is karma. Finally, everything boils down to karma. What is karma? Karma is final sacrifice. You keep on offering and offering and offering and offering. And what happens to you? You keep on growing and growing and growing. You no longer live in a silo. Your life is in this whole universe. This is the 30th verse, and with this verse ends the 7th chapter. We take up the 8th chapter next Thursday, but before that, we have questions, of course, I hope. And these final declarations by the Lord has awakened in Arjuna a question. You better explain, elaborate these concepts. So that's the reason why, I wasn't too elaborative here. I could have gone on and on. But these concepts will be elaborated in the next chapter. So this is the cue Arjuna gets to ask question. So this is what happens when you're talking about at the end. What happens at the end and what happens at the beginning. So here he says, no, me, even at the time of death, prayana kale pichamam ye vidur yuktache. The mind concentrated. The mind has to be concentrated. You must be concentrated. Take for instance, magicians. There are some magicians, kind of wonderful. They bring out such beautiful, big illusions. And there are those guys who bring out those small cards, Card tricks, even the children, they start learning of those card tricks. Those guys have grown up and they're still with card tricks. That's not magic. That's a trick. As you keep on growing and growing and growing, hey, this is grand. You become a grand magician. You graduate from. So that japa and all. When will that 7 o'clock? Okay. Oh, thank God it's now. I've done for today. You're still with those small card, petty tricks. You've got to graduate from there to higher and higher and higher things. You graduate to here, to this whole universe is a sacrifice that's going on. Every life is a sacrifice. Every mind is a sacrifice. Everything is if you can see this universe, your perceptions of reality first will change completely. It will become spiritual. So this is spiritualizing your everyday life. There's a book called Spiritualizing Everyday Life by Swami Ashokananda. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.
There is only one question. Please define karma.
Define karma? I give you a kind of a hint that it is Kri.
That's the only question.
That's the only question, okay. The word comes from Kri, to do. Every karma is a movement. Everything that you do, whether in the mind, whether quietly, whether loudly, is karma. the Lord performs karma. He says, if I don't work, the whole world will die. Yeah, when we come down to that, we'll explain. If I don't work, this whole world will die. So wherever there's life, there is work, karma. So you are doing karma. You're listening to me. I am doing karma, speaking to you. Why? Everything works because the Lord is working constantly. Okay. So this is, in brief, karma. So whatever you do, think, talk, work. So, but then how do we differentiate between religious and non-religious work? Every work can be made religious. That's the concept of karma yoga. It's just your attitude. The idea, another idea is, you have the right to work, but you never have the right for the results of work. Karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So you have the right to work. So what do you do? How do you purify yourself? Whenever you work, you're saying, all what I have done today, thought today, said today, I offer this to you, O Lord. That purifies you. How does it purify you? It eradicates the sense of selfishness. So when that selfishness is removed, your mind becomes pure. It is selfishness that makes us impure. So that is the root of all troubles. So when you do selflessly, you're growing. So that's the way you grow and grow and grow.
So what if you do selfish things and then you go, I offer to Lord too at the end of the day? How do you reconcile that?
Yeah, selfishly you have done. So the Lord will give you a selfish result also.
But like, I don't want the result, I give everything to you.
Yeah. See, you work with the idea of a self. But you're offering all these things to the higher self. Okay. So the idea is you have to eradicate yourself when you are absorbed in your work, you forget time, you forget place, you forget even you. That is an ideal worker. You become absorbed in this work. Okay. So you've seen it. When you fall asleep, there is no time, there is no place, and there is no you also. So there is no self also. But you train yourself in such a way, because the idea of self is not going to go away so easily. It has been with you for a couple of, not a couple, I will say, a few trillion years. Let's put it like that, to make it kind of appealing, a few trillion years, because this whole universe goes through cyclic expansion, contraction, and retraction, and again expansion. It's kind of over and over again. So you've been doing this you're coming over and over again. This is the wheel of samsara. So it's an old, it's not going to go away so soon. So what do you do? First you offer the results of your work to the Lord, and then you offer yourself to the Lord. Oh Lord, I belong to you. Okay. Oh, you know me. I belong to you. So that's a friend. And and the other day we had a kind of a talk on friendship. The professor never said that there is an attitude of friend. The concept of God as a friend. The professor never told you that Arjuna was Sri Krishna's friend, and Sri Krishna was Arjuna's friend. He used the word Sakayar. So over and over again. So like two friends talking about the highest things. This is the Bhagavad-Gita. I wanted to kind of mention it, but I said it will be kind of it will be precocious of me to kind of say. But then this is what it is. So, Lord, I'm your friend. Oh, I belong to you. So I belong to you. This work that I do belongs to you. The results are yours there. I become free. I have nothing more to do now. Why? I belong to the Lord. Okay. So this is, you have to be very careful. There should be no, Sri Ramakrishna says, there's no duplicacy, no hypocrisy. Those guys with, those huge guns, drug smugglers and drug dealers, they do all the kind of killing and everything, they all the stupid things, and then they will go and then they will pray. They go to church. They will put money in the donation box also. There's no problem. Really? That should not. I'm doing karma. And I'm giving part of it to the Lord. So I'm doing it selfishly, but I'm also unselfish. That kind of thing will not do. So Sri Ramakrishna says in Bengali, Bhaver ghore churi. There should be no theft in the chamber of your heart. Religion is meant for the few. For the few, yeah. For those who have given up hypocrisy. Oh yeah. And that's why Sri Ramakrishna never liked all that kind of these huge marks and religious marks all over the body. So be careful of that guy. He's making a display of his religious affiliation and his religious fervor. There should be no external signs of religiosity. Your attitude inside will be that of a friend or a child or a servant of the Lord. Okay? That is the best attitude. Okay. So, Swamiji's selfishness is the cause of all suffering, but selfishness is so deeply rooted. Will japa cure it? Oh yes, japa will cure it. You wait till Saturday, we are going to discuss this very thing. We are going to look at japa from the standpoint of the aphorisms on yoga. So there we go. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Saturday 10 a.m.
Saturday 10 a.m.